it's worth, right? Whoever sells it. Wrong. I'm Charlie. Welcome to Moving Home with Charlie, and thank you for coming.
Charlie Landing grew up in Sussex, is the founder of BestAgent and presenter of Moving Home with Charlie.
If you want to find one of these guys, look out for those compassionate professionals. All estate agents are not the same.
So Charlie, what would be your advice for people interested in buying new builds right now?
Don't overpay. Do buy, but don't overpay. That's why I say disregard the guff. Read into the numbers and look, and it's buried. The bad news is buried in the small print, okay?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Property Press Awards.
They may or may not be telling the truth, but you should form your own view. Get out and view, get out and view, get out and view. You cannot be in a position to make offers and have no offers accepted if you're not viewing. Just be out there viewing. Pay attention to the back of the class. If you've not been watching my videos, I did one just a couple of days ago. Disregard the guff, guys. Good morning, everybody. I need a break. This is supposed to be a BestAgent YouTube channel live stream, not Moving Home with Charlie. I am simultaneously broadcasting this on the BestAgent channel at the last minute. It's why I'm a couple of minutes late. So this is a bonus Moving Home with Charlie live stream. This is actually Wednesday morning's BestAgent breakfast show. This is a broadcast intended just for estate agents. But you guys get to see it this morning as well. So welcome to all my Moving Home with Charlie followers, but especially welcome to the estate agents of the UK this morning, where I was just planning to have a short 10-minute conversation about yesterday's news on inflation and just how frustratingly bad that is. I hope you've all got a tea or coffee this morning. It was always going to happen, right? Live streaming on two channels, having to log in and log out of different systems, and then I scheduled this live stream on the wrong channel. But hey, I'm going to just take it easy. Just take it easy and try not to get anything else wrong. At least the camera's working this morning. Yesterday it was the wrong camera. Okay, guys. So yesterday a story came out about retail inflation, and I just wanted to spend a couple of minutes explaining just why this problem is so pernicious and why, again, hope is not a strategy. Because we hear people, including the governor of the Bank of England himself, saying, well, we're expecting inflation to come down sharply. And then we hear him say in the next breath, but we're worried it's not going to come down enough. And I'm going to assume in this live stream that you are unaware of exactly what inflation is and how it works. I'm just going to explain it so that you can understand the effect of inflation on interest rates, the effect of interest rates on house prices, the effect of that on buyer confidence, the effect of it on the money markets, why high interest rates are causing banking problems, etc. And in a word, someone actually said on Twitter last night to me, he said, it's like, over the last 15 years or so, not just England, not just Europe, not just America, but actually most of the world has been living on a 0% interest credit card, right? Just going out, spending money that it doesn't have because the credit card was so cheap, it was like free money. And it's been borrowing money on that free credit card and using that money to make investments. So literally borrowing money and going and investing that money in buying assets, buying stuff, and just maxed out that credit card. And what's just happened is that the free interest rate period on the credit card has suddenly come to an end. And now suddenly the interest payments that are owed on that credit card are higher than the returns people are getting on their investments. So suddenly, like there's a real, oh, we are losing money now. The interest we're paying on our credit card bill is more than the income we're making from our investments. And not only that, the value of the investments has dropped massively. In the last year or so, you're talking about, 20 to 30% falls in stock prices and stuff like that, and a lot of the investments that are going on. And the worst thing is that, and the reason that there's more trouble to come, is that most people who've borrowed this money with their 0% credit card, bought the investments. They've put down the value of those investments in their accounts at whatever they paid them for, whatever they were when they're higher. And what they haven't yet done is what's called marking to market those investments on their balance sheet value. So they're sort of running around going, okay, we haven't, because we can't, if we reduce the value of those assets on our accounts, then suddenly it'll be obvious that we don't even have enough to make the interest payments on our credit card. And the reason why inflation makes this problem worse, and by the way, guys, if anyone's in any doubt, every single day, almost every single day on Property Industry Eye, there is a report of either an estate agency buying out another estate agency or an estate agency closing. And in fact, there are stories, both of those stories exist on Property Industry Eye today. And there's a story out that says that transaction volumes are now down 25% compared to December 2021, so just over a year ago. Transactions are already down. And I know that there are some people out there going, but hey, transaction volumes are as good as they were last September. Well, they were already a long way down last September. And in the Southeast, according to the article, they're now 30% down transaction volumes. And this is for the benefit. If you are tired of me being a gloomy doom monger and it annoys you, don't listen to this next part, because I'll spoil your day. I don't want to spoil anyone's day. I'm only doing this for anyone who's actually just open-minded and wants to know whatever's happening. I want to know because I want to be prepared for whatever's happening. Okay. The longer inflation stays high, the longer and higher interest rates will have to go. It's basically that. And that's based on the Bank of England's own stated policy. Their policy is not economic growth. Their responsibility is not economic growth. Their responsibility is inflation. First and foremost, is keeping inflation down. So, and there are critics on both sides. Some people said that we're in this mess because they didn't start gradually rising interest rates soon enough. And actually, they've all but admitted that. Other people are saying, well, actually, the same people saying they now haven't raised them high enough to hit inflation hard enough. And as we know, last week, there was a surprise shock in the headline inflation, jumped up to 10.4%. And yesterday, this is what the story that came out yesterday everywhere, is that it's supermarket inflation. So it's the inflation that's actually hitting consumers the hardest. And not only is at record highs, but it is forecast to increase. All right, so the link to this story is below in the description. But it does say here somewhere, look at that. All right, that's over the last 14 years. And they're saying that supermarket inflation has not yet got as high as it's going to get. So whatever the bank's headline inflation says, let's get rid of this now. Whatever the CPI, the official government inflation figure, is coming out, it's nowhere near as high as actual inflation. And actual inflation for consumers has not yet finished its horrible route. And inflation coming down doesn't mean prices are coming down. It means that prices are going up, but not as fast. But prices are going up at their fastest rate in 45 years. Let that sink in, right? As at this month, prices are going up at their fastest rate in 45 years, thereabouts, not including the small spike of October, I think, last year. Everybody hopes it'll come down. But the problem is that in order to fight inflation, in order for people to not be poorer, in order for wage growth not to be shrinking, everyone's got to have pay rises. And everyone's having pay rises. The pay rises aren't enough to keep up with inflation on average, but the pay rises are making inflation worse. Because pay rises are giving people more money to spend, and that's keeping prices artificially high. And some people are saying, well, it's profiteering by the supermarkets. And some people are saying, well, it's early retirement. How dare you retire early? Because now inflation's all your fault if you retired early, you horrible thing. And some people are saying, well, it's because house prices went up so high that people are being able to. And I don't know if any of those are true or not true, but they're frankly pointless. That's just finger wagging finger pointing, blame. It's not going to, you can't go out to anyone who retired early and blame them for retiring early. Who wouldn't want to retire early if you're doing work that you don't enjoy? So what is the purpose of this? What's my message here? Am I just here to ruin your Wednesday morning? No, I'm here to point out that as an estate agent, if you want to appear and come across as informed to your sellers and to your buyers, nothing makes you look more foolish than saying everything's going to be fine. It's just going to be fine. No, inflation's coming down. This problem's almost gone away. The housing market's coming back. It's recovering. And I'm not saying that you should be predicting things are getting worse. I would, if I was an estate agent advising clients on what they think is going to happen in the economy because they're asking, I would say it's very difficult to tell. There's a lot of hope that's going to get better, but unfortunately the actual indicators coming out at the moment aren't helping. So we can't see any significant improvement anytime soon. And just, it is completely legitimate to sit on the fence. It's not fair to expect anyone to know what's going to happen in the economy. I mean, you can see what's going to happen in the next 3 or 4 months in the economy. That's pretty clear because these financial indicators take a while to feed through, and actually house prices take a year to catch up with what's happening in the economy. So why do I think house prices are going to keep falling? Because what's happening in the economy today, all the indicators are getting worse. Wage growth or wage shrinkage is getting worse. Inflation has not yet begun to come down. Unemployment is starting to increase, and redundancies are starting to increase. And all of these things, and interest rates are still going up. And all of these things will take a full year to feed through into house prices. All right? Actually, Housing Stig and I have been talking about something he's been working on, which I'm very excited about, which is it's basically going to well, we'll see, right? The guy's a bit of a genius. I think he may well have come up with something that's the most accurate predictor of house prices ever. He's built this model that just, I'll come back to you. It's exciting. It's exciting stuff because if that is the case, then that could be really quite something. So guys, what does it mean for you agents out there today? It means, it doesn't change anything today. It means don't have false optimism. You're only going to make yourself look foolish if you have false optimism. By all means have hope. There's nothing wrong with hope, right? Hope is not a strategy, but hope is sometimes all we've got. Be hopeful, but do not, without evidence to back it up, say everything's going to be fine. Our house prices aren't going to be fully. Yes, your local market you might know better than other people, but I'm just cautioning you, as I did last August when I said don't be a downturn dummy. Of people last August saying there's not going to be a downturn. No, everything's going to be fine. And yeah, you're not looking very clever now if that's what you said last time. And I'm warning that although things aren't going to be getting much worse, I'm not saying, hey guys, things are bad, but they're going to get worse. I'm not saying that. I'm saying they're going to stay like they are at the moment for some considerable time yet. Even if inflation starts to come down later this year, which it almost certainly will, it doesn't matter, because if it comes down from, let's say, 10% to 8%, people go, way, inflation's come down by 20%, from 10% to 8%. Inflation is still crippling for the economy, right? So you don't be one of those people that thinks 8% inflation is a good thing. It's not. It's heading in the right direction, but it is still prices going up 8% year on year, eating up any house price rises. So taking away. So at the moment, right, with inflation at 10%, it means if your house price went up nominally 10% the last year, in real terms, it hasn't gone up at all, right? It just hasn't gone up at all. And actually, house values, not prices, but house values have dropped significantly if you factor in inflation now. Inflation is a killer. Now, there's one silver lining to inflation that's worth pointing out, right? And I'm not saying it's a good or a bad thing, but I'm saying that there is one effect that inflation has, which is that as inflation increases, outstanding debt is effectively deflated. So you inflate debt away. And some people are saying that this is the government's strategy, right, to inflate its own debt away. If inflation runs away, well, that helps their tax, because they've done this thing called fiscal drag, where inflation goes up, but they've tweaked the tax rules so that the tax bans don't kick in until a certain height. Well, those tax bans aren't going up with inflation, which means that as prices go up and as wages go up, more and more people are paying more and more tax. So there is a sneaky trick for the government using this thing called fiscal drag, where inflation actually increases their tax take and reduces their debt as a proportion of its overall income. All right, and that's quite tricky stuff to get your head around, but it is a sneaky bastard trick where inflation is actually helping the government, even though it's not helping the economy and it's not helping interest rates. It does help reduce their debt and increase taxes, so that's not good. But there we are, guys. That's it. That's all I wanted to talk about. Again, for all the Moving Home with Charlie followers this morning, you're welcome. I hope it was useful for you as well. But this wasn't for you. This was meant for estate agents. I am a bozo. I need to pay more attention. I probably need a break of some sort. And yeah, just agents, just batten down the hatches. It's not going to get easier anytime soon. I'm not going to say it's going to get much worse. I'm not saying transaction volumes are going to fall further, but they are down a long way. There are agencies closing. There are agencies that are struggling. And the thing to do is to focus on getting your deals over the line, because your customers, both your sellers and buyers, are going to thank you holding deals together. And that's what's going to boost your income and your prospects for the future better than anything else. Will be nurturing your pipeline of deals. Just every single day, every single time you stop and think, right, what should I be checking on next? Check your pipeline, check your pipeline, check your pipeline, check your deals, chase your deals. Do that first and literally nurture your pipeline in a way that you've never nurtured it before. Hold it together. Because for some agents, that's going to make the difference between survival and failure. And your clients, it's in everyone's interests to hold deals together. So good luck. I hope you do. And if you are not yet, if you want to join the private Best Agent WhatsApp group, send me a private message on LinkedIn. If you are an estate agent, it is strictly estate agents only. It is a private, safe space for estate agents to discuss best agents' plans to improve things for movers and agents alike. And we'll get you into that group. And it's about to launch imminently. Have a great day, guys. Do we have any agents in here? I should think, with all of the movers screaming away there in the... Yeah, I think agents keeping a quiet profile this morning. Hi guys, good morning everyone. Matthew, Catherine, Ian, Tired, Gunnosaurus, James, Thomas, Mad Mountain Man, Jamie Jones. And yeah, have a great day, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.